next up, we're having the conversation with the Ghana Bar Association, and turns out the president, Tony Forsing, has joined us right now. Good morning to you, Mr. Forsing.
Good morning, Israel.
All right, so it's good to be speaking with you after such a long time. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
All right.
Yes, those were my PR days.
I know. Okay, so we have the Bar Association conference coming up, and
Yes.
one of the exciting things I'm learning is that you're going to be doing e-voting. Tell us a bit more about this one.
Yes, thank you, Israel. This year's Bar conference is unique in the sense that for the first time we have a virtual option and we have an in-person option, of course,
right,
due to the pandemic.
And by the way, this is the Bar conference that brings together all the lawyers in the country, including the president.
That's correct. And I'll use this opportunity to say thank you, because ever since he became president, he's graced our every Bar conference, and he will be in Bolga as well to speak to us. Now, I was saying that this year's conference is unique because for the first time, we are going to introduce e-voting, such that people who are unable to be at the conference will be able to vote from wherever they are in the world, not only Ghana, wherever they are in the world. And the intervention has been designed specifically for the Bar Association, such that you can vote from a PC, a YAM phone, iPhone, Android, any device. You will have access to vote. Now, it works this way. Everybody will be sent a one-time password called the OTP. And using your OTP, you can exercise your franchise. Once you cast your vote, either electronically or manually, there's no way, absolutely no way, that you can, switch and attempt to vote through the other means. It has been designed such that the moment you vote, the Electoral Commission will know that you voted electronically. So that if you are at Bolga and, for example, you vote from your hotel room and you turn up at the conference place and say that you've not voted, all the EC does is that it looks at the computer and it will tell you that you voted. It is that simple. And, the vision I had was that it should be speed with integrity.
All right. So it turns out that you are not contesting, you're not running.
No, I've done my time.
Okay, so who are the people who are contesting for president? Let's stick with the president, because I know there are several roles.
Yes. We have two candidates for the position of president. Mrs. Ifogati, who is the current president of Greater Accra, and Mr. Yaobuafo, who is the national secretary, current national secretary. There are two contestants.
All right. You haven't anointed anyone?
What power do I have?
No, in Ghana, we had a Swedru declaration. You haven't done any such thing.
No. Both candidates have their own strengths and their weaknesses, and I believe that the law fraternity is a close one, and that they've been around, they've campaigned and sent their messages, and I believe that everybody will exercise his private view.
All right.
Whatever he say really would not matter.
Now, having talked about the Bar conference, then I want to look at the role of the Ghana Bar Association as we have it now. The Ghana Bar Association, as far as I remember, used to be this very vocal institution that spoke and shook the foundations of the country. And I mean, once the Bar Association took a position, people had to listen. I mean, people in authority had to listen. I'm talking about the revolutionary days and when we started our democracy. But it looks like in recent times, we don't hear that much from the Ghana Bar Association. Have you been caught up in this culture of silence too?
Absolutely not. In fact, the distinction lies in your own question. You say that in the revolutionary days.
All right.
In the democratic days.
Okay.
In the revolutionary days, you had no way of changing a government. In the revolutionary days, the people who were in authority had not been voted into authority. Right now, every government which comes is the government of the people of Ghana. Every policy that they make is subject to a referendum every 4 years. Every person has got the right to say that, look, this policy is not good. Therefore, the scenario has changed significantly. It is not the issue of somebody has taken a gun and come to power. The person in power has been voted into power. Therefore, that is a government of the people of Ghana. So you must be careful when you speak. All right? 2, the terrain has also changed. There are so many NGOs who are speaking to so many issues. So it is not the Bar Association alone. And most importantly, the Bar Association, even though it is a voluntary organization, is recognized in the Constitution of Ghana. And we are represented on many statutory boards and corporations. Therefore, what it means influentially is that we have an input into policy. So every policy which comes out, or most policies which come out, have our input. So who will you be speaking against? Your own representatives or who? Therefore, you will see that we are very, very selective in what we say and when we say it, because the terrain has changed.
All right, the terrain has changed, and I feel that what we should be careful that we don't leave things to referendums through the elections every 4 years, because in between these 4-year terms, we tend to have a lot of things happening. For instance, there are calls for the sacking of the health minister because they say he broke several laws. And GBA, one would expect that GBA would speak to such an issue, for instance. I'm not sure we've heard the GBA speak about that.
Yes, we are running an executive presidency. And therefore, such a decision rests solely with the president. He appoints and he fires.
But if the GBA, if the Ghana Bar Association, for instance, spoke to the issue that, yes, they confirmed that laws were broken. We're talking about laws being broken. We've heard a number of your members speak to that. Martin Kpebu is one of those who took up this issue strongly. It would help, don't you think, if the Ghana Bar Association, as an association, also had its position about this?
I beg to differ, Israel. I beg to differ.
Why, though?
Individuals within the Ghana Bar Association are free to express their views on any national issue. And I believe that the matter went to Parliament. The Parliamentary Select Committee on the issue came out with their findings, and their findings are known to the presidency. Therefore, it does not lie with the Ghana Bar Association to instruct or direct the president what to do. I believe the facts and the conclusions which are laid before him by Parliament should speak to the issue.
But would you at least admit that some laws were broken?
It does not lie with me to admit. It lies with the findings of the committee. So if the committee found that laws were broken, then it means laws were broken until there's an appeal which sets aside those findings.
Now, finally, whilst I have you, I'd want us to speak about the Constitution. There are calls for Ghana to have a new Constitution. There are those who are saying that let's scrap the Constitution, let's do away with it, the 1992 Constitution entirely. There are those who say it's okay, let's amend them, some of the articles in the Constitution. And where do you stand, or where does the Ghana Bar Association stand? That is, if you have a position.
That is two questions rolled into one. I happen to have been the youngest member of the Consultative Assembly to write this Constitution.
All right.
That becomes my personal view. My personal view is that as we go along, if we find that provisions are not, working to the good of the country, definitely we go through the referendum procedure or the amendment procedure through Parliament. But I think that, yes, some provisions will have to be amended because they don't sit happily with current times. But I disagree that it should be scrapped altogether because I believe it has worked quite well for us as a country.
Now, since you say you were part of the consultative forum that put together the 1992 Constitution, I want to find out from you, there are those who were saying that we had a constitution, or the 1992 Constitution was drafted or framed at a particular time in our history or in our democratic journey, and that it was done to take care of a military regime or a dictator, for lack of a better word. Now that we've had that taken care of and we've had political stability, we should be looking at a constitution that's going to bring us development. Would you say that when you're drafting the constitution, you had at the back of your mind that we should find a way of easing out the late President Jerry John Rawlings?
I would be lying if that was not part of the thinking at the time. I'll be lying to you. But having said that, I think that generally it was not done to suit one person as it was widely believed at the time. I disagree to that. But yes, our history as a country played a very significant role in some of the provisions which were put in the Constitution.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't think that the Constitution could have been done in a vacuum. Definitely our history as a country played a significant part. But I don't think that it was done to suit one person. That which comes to mind readily, which everybody has spoken about, are the indemnity clauses. I was young then. I don't know whether some of the rumors we heard were true. But the point is that I believe that it was meant to hold the country together.
All right.
Probably those who were in leadership at the time had their own way of thinking and bringing forward some amendments and some provisions. But I believe that the intendment of the whole thing was to put the country together and hold us together. And I believe it has held us together very well.
So we should look at it doing other things for us, such as bringing us development.
Of course, yes. But as for the question of development, I believe it behoves on all of us to put every government on its toes. It's all of us our duty. The president said when he was swearing in that we should be citizens and not spectators. So it behoves on all of us not to keep quiet. If there are developmental issues, I believe there's an organogram of authority through the district assemblies, the MCs. And one thing that I should say without mincing words is that people, kind of worship people in power. We put them there, and that should stop. We pay them, and that thinking should stop. Everybody thinks that, when you are in power, actually you are a servant. The Bible says that the greatest amongst you should be the servant.
Do you really think that our leaders see themselves as servants?
It is because we think they are not servants. But if we make them know that they are servants, they will behave like servants. I have no doubt.
We should let them see their true levels.
That's so.
And their real sizes.
The little experience I've had leading the Bar Association is that you are serving. And maybe luckily because we are not paid, it makes you think better.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Tony Forsing. Interesting conversation. We could have gone on and on, but we do not have much time. But once again, the Bar Conference, you say, is coming up this weekend in Bolga.
Yes, it's starting on Monday.
Okay.
Of course, it's at Fountain Gate Chapel. We'll have the church service on Sunday for the National Executive. The President comes in on Monday. Then the conference theme, which will be delivered by Dr. Ali Nachia, is on taxation, mobilization of taxation for the purposes of national development, the role of the lawyer. That will be spoken to. It doesn't get any better than Dr. Ali Nachia.
Okay. And at that forum, we should remind our leaders that they are servants.
We should every day, even when we pray, we should pray that God will let them know that they are servants.
All right. Thank you very much, Tony Forsing, President of the Ghana Bar Association, for joining us for this conversation. You're still on the AM show. You have more coming up your way. Elegant Homes, they are talking about some really, really sumptuous deals that they have for their patrons for the upcoming Habitat Fair. They'll be here to talk about all of that. Do stay tuned in. We'll be back in a bit.